My other privileged opportunity is to introduce our speaker for tonight, Dr. Joseph Urgo, our academic colleague and neighbor from down the road at the St. Mary's College of Maryland. I'm sorry. He became the president there in July 2010. So he is a new friend and new neighbor, and we hope to get much better acquainted with him as the years go by. A native of Hartford, Dr. Urgo holds a bachelor's degree in political science from Haverford College, and a master's degree from Wesleyan University, and a master's and PhD in American Civilization from Brown University. After receiving his doctorate, Dr. Urgo was a member of the Bryant College faculty for 11 years. He held a Fulbright lectureship in Spain in 1992 and was an Andrew Mellon Fellow at Vanderbilt University. He's been around. He left Bryant College to become professor and chair of the English department at the University of Mississippi from the year 2000 to 2006. Prior to coming to Southern Maryland, Dr. Urgo served as the chief academic officer at Hamilton College in upstate New York. Dr. Urgo's research interests focus on the works of 20th century American novelists and writers William Faulkner and Willa Cather, and he has published 5 books on their works and on American culture in general. And what better place to be than here in Southern Maryland, in the mother county, in a college that literally is unearthing the beginnings of that culture, of both Native Americans and settlers, in archaeology projects in which some of our own students have had a chance to participate. We look forward to opportunities for future collaboration and offer a warm welcome to our neighbor, Dr. Urgo.
When I was young, my teachers were the old. I gave up fire for form till I was cold. I suffered like a metal being cast. I went to school, to age, to learn the past. Now when I am old, my teachers are the young. What can't be molded must be cracked and sprung. I strain at lessons fit to start a suture. I go to school, to youth, to learn the future. That brief poem is called What 50 Said, written by Robert Frost. It remains as true today as it was a century ago. I come here today to look at the future. I know you are not done with your lessons, neither am I. We meet at this juncture as learners. You are about to pass a milestone and will then say, I am a graduate of the College of Southern Maryland. I am also at a milestone, a commencement speaker, humbled by Dr. Bradley Gottfried's invitation to speak to you. My question for us today is inspired by Robert Frost. What have we learned? President Gottfried, members of the College of Southern Maryland Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, students, parents, families, friends, and most of all, the class of 2012, this is a glorious occasion, a point when we take pause in our lives to mark a passage, to reflect on what life means to us, and to make certain that we know its importance. We do this because we are occupied by so much in life that is not important. We are under continuous sensory seduction, cell phones, text messages, Facebook status updates, tweets, and this but an attenuation of larger, grander suggestions that we lose weight, gain muscle, drink less, drink more, eat something, subscribe, sign up, get a fresh credential. Our desires are not only met, but created. And if we no longer have a desire, we have something for you to bring back that need and get you back on the market. We have to stop on an occasion like today and select what is important. It reminds me of a story I once heard about a woman who needed a bowl for her dog to drink water from. Her name was Mrs. Klein, and she lived in New York City, but that's not important. She took a walk down Fifth Avenue to a store that sold bowls. She picked one out and told the man behind the counter that she would like to purchase this bowl for her dog to drink water from. The man looked pleased. He smiled and said, "We can engrave dog on the bowl for you. Or better, we can engrave your dog's name on the bowl for no extra charge." The woman stared at him for a while. Maybe she was confused, but as you'll see, she was not. She said, "Now, why would I want to do that? My husband would never drink water from a bowl, and my dog can't read." To get to this day, to become a graduate of the College of Southern Maryland, you must have learned to sort out uselessness from what's important. Your teachers have done the same when they created out of hundreds and thousands of possible lessons and readings those they assigned to you to accomplish. You did this when you made time in your lives to complete a course of advanced college study. What 50 Said by Robert Frost has 2 stanzas, and each opens with a similar line, indications of pause for the youthful and for the aged. When I was young, my teachers were the old. Now when I am old, my teachers are the young. At this pause in our lives, at this moment into which we have poured so much effort as we can as human beings to slow down time, to mark a milestone, to make sure that we stop ourselves sufficiently to know it for the milestone that it is, a commencement. Students transformed into graduates, a goal held for a year or 2 years or 4 years, 6 years, a decade or more, by teenagers, 20-somethings, by sons and daughters, mothers, fathers, grandparents, new students, returning students, drop-ins and ex-dropouts. We pause because we did it. We set our sights and hit our mark, and now we know more than any lesson, more than any class, more than any exam or assignment, that if we put our minds to a task, we can do it. But we can't do it alone. Nobody can and nobody does. I said I was humbled by Dr. Godfrey's invitation to talk to you today. I am so because, I'm not talking only to you, but I'm responding to a lifelong association with school. To prepare for kindergarten, my mother gave me a pencil box. Those among us who are literally over 50 will smile at that memory. A pencil box in the shape of a desk nameplate, and it said on it, where the name should go, it said Doctor of Foolosophy. That's philosophy spelled P-H-O-O-L, Foolosophy. Who knows what psychological influence that gesture dealt? There was a high school teacher who insisted that I attend college back at a time when that was not the usual thing to do. There was a college professor who suggested graduate school. Now back to our moment. Take a slice of it now and think to yourself, who helped me? What teacher, what parent, what aunt or uncle or neighbor or professor or professional counselor, on whose belief in you do you come to us today, a graduate of the College of Southern Maryland in 2012? Somebody looked at you and saw something, some spark, some connection, some unmet need. Let's come to a second agreement today and say, let's call it passion, the role that passion plays in bringing us to this moment. Passion brought you here today, your passion to accomplish your goal, the impassioned assistance from those who love and support you, the dispassionate belief in you displayed by teachers and counselors and advisors and classmates. In higher education, we do a lot of counting. How many graduates, how many males, how many females, how many whites and blacks and Hispanics and Asians, how many completed and how many did not. Numbers are not so important, numbers are important, but let's sort them out of this moment and focus our attention on what's important today at this milestone. Passion brought you here today. Someone helped you. Someone did more than he or she was required or expected to do. Now, what are we going to do about that? Because whoever helped you, like those who helped me, probably doesn't need or expect anything in return. That's not what they saw when they saw what they saw in you. Robert Frost's 2 stanzas end with similar lines. I went to school to learn the past. I went to school to age, to learn the past. I go to school to youth, to learn the future. So far, we've agreed on 2 things that we've learned. At least I hope I heard no objections from President Gottfried, members of the College of Southern Maryland Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, students, parents, families, friends, and most of all, the class of 2012. We've learned 2 things so far. First, we need to separate what's important from what is not. Second, we remember that we did not get here alone. Let's see then if we can agree on one more thing that we have learned in this moment, this pause in our lives. When we reemerge from this moment of pause and reflection, and we re-enter the world in which we must sort out what is important from what is not, the world you'll enter with a degree in hand from the College of Southern Maryland, with the full knowledge of those on whose assistance you advanced, we'll find others like us who, but for a moment of kindness from us, a gentle assistance, a moment of counsel, or some kind of material aid, will not advance. Graduates, I invite you to join in this human continuum and recognize that it is not numbers and data and information that move human lives toward dignity and achievement, but passion, interest, and collaboration. I don't want you to forget your lessons in business and nursing and general studies, social and biological and health sciences and all the rest, but I want us to agree to focus on one lesson that permeates all lessons: the men and women who devote their lives to assisting others to meet their dreams and their passions, and to apply that lesson to the lives that will emerge from this moment and this pause. Join in this human continuum, offer your hand to someone, offer what you know, what you have learned, to someone who will benefit by that lesson. Take an interest in the needs of others. I began by saying that we meet here today as learners, stopping for a moment to mark a milestone, and I asked, what is it that we have learned? As college graduates, I think the answer is now quite simple. You are needed. The country needs you. The world needs you. Someone, some purpose, some unmet goal requires your passion, your interest, and your presence. Some of you already know what it is, and some of you are going to find out. And all of us, as we emerge from this moment, will continue to learn and continue to learn as well what we have to offer. Thank you. We look forward to your future.